Hello, beautiful people. How are you today? So I actually think these videos might become a thing. They are inspired completely by you, for you, by the questions that you ask me, and also the reoccurring patterns and themes that I'm actually seeing with clients at the moment. So if you have any particular questions and you would like me to create some video content on it, feel free to make a comment, private message me, whatever is best for you. Okay, so today's topic is going to be on our story. You see, you have a story, I have a story, but we are so much more than our story. So we need to be aware of the fact that sharing our story, how we share our story, who we share the story with can sometimes be more damaging than it is good. And I will break that down. This is actually such a huge topic. I'll probably do it over a few videos, but they're the specific components of this that I'm going to talk about today. So to start with, I want you first and foremost to point to me. Go ahead, point to me, I'll point to you. Okay, so you know where I am, fantastic. Now I want you to point to yourself and go ahead and place your finger on the very spot that you've pointed to. You've pointed to your heart, right? We spend so much time up here in our heads listening to the BS that goes on in our heads, rerunning stories, replaying these stories that more often than not do not serve us. And that is going on here in the mind. It is not going on in the heart, because the heart has an amazing wisdom about it. The heart says, look at what you've learned from the experiences. The heart says there's so much that this particular experience offered you. The head does the woe is me, I'm like this because of, and gives you a shitload of excuses to keep running and playing, to give you even more reasons to not step up and live your highest potential. Okay, actually I think this topic's going to get a little bit bigger than I first thought. Alrighty, so you have a story, I have a story, but we are not our story. So this doesn't mean never sharing your past experiences, but how you share it is important. So I work with a lot of professional speakers, influencers that are paid to share their story, or they're making a lot of money selling product by constantly sharing their story. And these people end up on my lounge with issues usually around energy. So you know that everything I do is about teaching people to have their energy here in present time. Because when you're here in present time, you feel tall, you feel strong, you feel empowered, you feel motivated, you feel like you can take on the world. You cannot do that if you keep on repeating an old story of sickness, an old story of past abuses or experiences. So here's a really important tip I give the professional speakers, right? First of all, how you tell your story matters. When we speak in present tense, or when we speak of anything in present tense, it's an affirmation, right? Our words are an affirmation. So when we say, I have a particular illness, I'm very much against labeling illnesses, by the way, that'll be another video. But what we are doing is we are owning it. And do you honestly think you're ever going to be free of it if you keep affirming that you own something? It just can't happen. So be careful how you tell your story. I have had an experience of words that are going to be of more benefit to you, because your unconscious mind knows it is past tense, it is not a now thing. Okay, having been through this experience, I learned XYZ doesn't attract it to you. I have this, I am dealing with this, is not good for you in any way, shape or form. Okay, so again, you have a story, I have a story, we all have a story, but we're more than our story. So it is time that we step up and look at things differently. And let me tell you, when you step up and you look back at your story, you start to see that the experiences have taught you so much. You see, you will never learn strength unless you're put in a situation where you need to be strong. You'll never learn courage unless you need to be courageous. Our past learnings, our past experiences offer us so much wisdom, a wisdom that we couldn't have without that experience, a wisdom that doesn't come out of a textbook. Strength does not come out of a textbook. And let me tell you, we've all had challenges, okay? And I've had some doozies, I've had some really big challenges, and I've had some issues with people that have been massive. But this is what I do so that I can always come back from a place of compassion. If I see somebody behaving very poorly, the first thing I'm an Aries, right? So I have a little bit of FU attitude. And the way I keep that in check is I will look at this person and I will say, oh my goodness, not out loud, in my head, right? Oh my goodness, how fractured must your soul be that you need to behave like that? How fractured must your soul be that you are behaving so poorly? And I immediately come back here into a place of compassion rather than the FU attitude and become reactive or lose my power to it or any of that sort of stuff. So coming back to compassion, back to the heart is really important there. Okay, so there is that, and there is also the fact that I will teach all of these professional speakers, people that work with other people, people that feel like they're drained at the end of the day. I will say to them, this is a really big, powerful mover, shaker affirmation, another affirmation I'm sharing with you. What I do is not from me, but through me. What I do is not from me, but through me. So, by saying that affirmation, by making that your truth, what you are then able to do is help more people. You are able to be there for more people. You are able to share with more people, but you are not giving your own energy. You are not giving your own resources. What you are doing is becoming more of an open channel, and you are bringing what it is that they need through you. And as it comes through you and as you give, you are also being replenished. So as you give, you receive. Really important. What I do is not from me, but through me. So that's a really amazing affirmation to use. And remember, do not claim ownership of your story. Now, when it comes to you're telling a story of illness, it's so important. If you are currently unwell, and I will probably do another video around healing with this one too, but just touching on it just for a moment. If you are currently unwell, be careful who you tell your story to. So this is not, what I'm about to say is not about doing things on your own. It's not about that at all. We need a support network, people to lean on, people that can step up and help, people that can hold a high vibration. That is the most important thing, holding a high vibration for us. Seeing us well is so, so, so important. So be careful who you tell, because energetically, when you tell people that are then going to be fearful for you, that are going to worry excessively for you, that are going to get together with other people and go, oh my goodness, have you heard the poor thing? She's not well. I'm just so concerned. Oh goodness, it's such bad news. It's terrible. That energy is going out there in the ethers, right? So whilst you're trying so hard to work on yourself, you actually have to also work on this energy that is out there in your name. It's so important. Like, my goodness, I could talk for hours. That's another really big video, and I will make a note to create a video on that. But please, 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 we've all got a story. I want you to be aware of how you tell your story, who you tell your story to, because if you want to be free of your story, the how and the who is extremely important. Anyway, I think I'm going to finish off there. Otherwise, I'll go on for hours. I'm going to finish off there. If you have any questions, do pop it in the comments, and I promise to do more videos. See you then.